The biggest struggle high school basketball players face is all mental. It's confidence. I'm going to teach you how I developed undeniable confidence in basketball, which helped me average 16 points per game and make first team all conference as a junior in high school. So to get a few limiting beliefs out of the way, I'm going to tell you this right now. I am not athletic, okay? I can move around pretty well, but I can't jump high. I am not very tall. I'm 5'9". Like, height, athleticism, genetics, whatever excuse you want to come up with, it's not true, all right? You can be great through dedication and hard work, all right? Keep that in mind. All right, let's go. The first piece of advice that I'm going to give you today is outwork your own self-doubt. I learned that from a man named Alex Hormozi, of all people. He's actually into business. He's on YouTube. He's on the business scene. He's on TikTok, Instagram. You've probably seen him. And that was one of his quotes that I remember. Outwork your own self-doubt. So you're never going to be able to get rid of that negative self-talk completely, but what you can do is drown it out with positive feedback loops of just saying, you know what? Yeah, I did work out for 3 hours yesterday. Okay, yeah, I have been working hard. Oh, yeah, I have been lifting. I have been doing this and this and this. See, your brain cannot comprehend lies, right? You can't tell your brain, hey, yo, bro, this pink elephant right here, it exists. Yeah, this pink elephant exists. What? Dude, there's no pink elephant there. Like, you can't trick your brain, right? So if you only give your brain positive reasoning, and it is like just reasoning that you are a good basketball player, it will believe, oh yeah, I've worked for this. I'm a good basketball player. That's one thing that I've found. However, there still may be some barriers that you face, and we're going to tackle that in the next piece of advice. I need you to change your approach to the game. What do I mean by that? What I mean is I want you to remember when you're really young. I mean like 4 or 5 years old. I want you to remember the times when you were just like in your house playing on a little Tykes net, man. Did you love the game then? Did you appreciate the game? Or were you overanalyzing your every footstep and saying, oh no, I pivoted off the wrong foot and oh no. You weren't worried about it when you were growing up. You just loved the game, right? I have 2 pieces of advice attached to each other. Play because you love it and change your approach to the game, all right? If you're going to the games all nervous, like, oh, no, I don't want to make a mistake, you're already in the wrong, okay? If you approach the game saying, I don't want to make a mistake, that's all you're thinking about. A man named Simon Sinek was giving a speech this one time, and I remember listening to it, and it really changed my perspective on a few things.
Skiers know this. If you go through trees on skis and you go, don't hit a tree, don't hit a tree, don't hit a tree, guess what you're watching? You're only looking at trees. All you're doing is seeing trees. You don't understand how anyone can ski with all these trees, right? As opposed to follow the snow, follow the path, follow the path. The only thing you see is the path.
It's all about a little mindset shift. If you look at the game as an opportunity to make mistakes versus an opportunity to be great, that's what you will get. You reap what you sow. So the next time you have a basketball game, the next time you're about to do a workout, maybe take a step back for a second. And I know we're all obsessed about our game. We want to perfect it. Of course, I get that. But every once in a while, appreciate the game. It is a privilege for you to play the game. I pray this all the time. I thank God for the ability to walk, the ability to jump, the ability to run. I thank God because I know not everybody is as fortunate as I am. Be grateful for the little things. Be grateful for the sound of the net whenever you swish a shot. Be grateful for the sound of the ball. Be grateful for the smell of an open gym or something, right? You know, the hardwood floors and it's a little of like a dusty feeling. Like, remember those things because one day you will play your last basketball game. And when you're either on your deathbed, you're thinking about, you're reminiscing about the times when you used to be able to play basketball. Are you going to be saying to yourself, man, I should have spun off the other foot? No! You're going to be saying, dang, man, I wish I enjoyed the game more and wasn't so hard on myself. That's the way I think of it. The third one is to change your self-talk and have faith. Okay? I need you to be aware of the thoughts in your head. Now, I can put this link in the description if you want. I have a video on my channel based on how to actually meditate. Okay, you can check that out if you want. It'll increase your awareness of your thoughts. Okay, I want you to recognize your negative self-talk. Whenever you say to yourself, oh, I suck, I can't play basketball, I'm terrible, this, that, and the other, whatever you say to yourself, remember that thought right? But don't let it take over. I want you to be aware of it and say, okay, why am I thinking these thoughts? I want you to analyze it. Is it something from your past? Is it something that somebody told you when you were real young and it stuck with you? Like, is it a traumatic thing that happened in your past that now you just can't get rid of it? Or that's what it seems like. You can always get rid of it, right? But what is causing those negative thoughts? Figure that out for yourself, and you may be able to set yourself free. The second part of that I mentioned is have faith. Sometimes we just can't handle it on our own. Sometimes we got to just give it up to God and say, Lord, please help me, Help me get rid of these negative thoughts. Help me be free. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. Something as simple as that. That's what I do, right? And what you will find is that the burdens are just kind of taken away, You don't feel as nervous as you did before. You don't feel as anxious as you did before because it's all being handled. Amen. So change your negative self-talk to positive self-talk. So instead of saying, oh, I suck, say, I get the next one. Something that I believe it's Damian Lillard always says to himself is next play. Next play. You make a mistake, next play. You make a good play, next play. Doesn't matter what happens, next play. Because there always is another play. Right? Third quarter, you make a mistake. That's not going to affect you in the fourth quarter, or at least it shouldn't. But that's a problem we all have. Right? We remember the bad shots. We remember the misses. And we forget about the makes. I would come home after a game and my parents would be talking about it and saying, hey, you made a couple good shots here. You did this, this, and this, and this. And I remember being like, I don't even remember. Because I was so worried about the mistakes I made. I don't know if anybody else resonates with that, but that's a weird thing I used to do is I wouldn't remember the makes. Let me know down in the comments if you felt the same way. Alright, the final piece of advice in this video does not directly relate to basketball, which is why I put it at the end. If you struggle with confidence on the basketball court or in general, we need to figure out the why, okay? There could be many different possibilities as to why you have this negative self-talk, as, the reasoning why you don't have confidence. It can be boiled down to a lot of different things. So, we need to figure this out, okay? This is something, some people will call it shadow work, some people will call it knowing oneself. I don't know about all that, okay? All I know is this. There is a reason for everything that happens in your mind, right? If you have a pattern of negative thinking, that is because you have allowed a pattern of negative thinking. Don't overcomplicate it, all right? So, something that I used to do, and I have the journal right here. I would go through all my negative thoughts. I would just allow them to just flow. I wouldn't force it, right? So I would hear a negative thought. I'll try to pull one out of the journal right now, okay? I would hear a negative thought, and what I would do is I would write it down and figure out, okay, why am I thinking this? And I would be rational about it. If it's something because when I was younger, I used to be a fat kid, right? I used to have negative thoughts about being fat. So it would be stuff like, oh, you're out of shape, you're unhealthy, you're fat, right? I mean, I wasn't even that fat. I was just a chubby kid, right? So I used to attack it rationally. Well, okay, how can I fix this? Or are these thoughts true? And oftentimes they weren't, right? Something that I've realized in my life, and I'm only 17, but this is, I guess, my little bit of wisdom here, is that our minds make things seem a lot worse than they are. So the biggest obstacle in your life is actually just your mind. Now, I haven't been able to find the page in this notebook, but you get what I'm saying. So figure out what the negative thoughts are, figure out what the barriers are to your success, and break down those walls one by one. That's the way I went about it. And I think through that, you don't run away from yourself anymore. And through that, that's true confidence. Being able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I have won. I have mastered myself. I have mastered my own mind. All right, man. I hope you got some value from this video. Now, look, you may find my other videos helpful as well. If you are a basketball player in high school, I did a full film breakdown about how to do the pick and roll in high school basketball. As always, keep God first. Good luck, bro. Check out the Discord. Top link in the description if you want to ask me questions. I'll see you, man.